But the particular awards today that we're choosing to give in front of the public is because a lot of the people that are being recognized today are the people that you don't see or think about that keep our operations moving forward, and some things that do some pretty special things for us in the community that isn't often heard of among the community when you think of the Sheriff's Office. And so this morning I'm going to ask for my first awards presentation. Chief Jan Elford will be giving a presentation.
I am here to give a Support Person Award of the Year to Angel Evans. She's my civil clerk. And bear with me while I read all of this because I don't want to miss anything. Civil Clerk Angel Evans, who has distinguished herself, oh, I forgot the top, see? Mason County Sheriff's Office citation to accompany the award by the Mason County Sheriff's Office to present the Administration Support Person of the Year 2012. To Civil Clerk Angel Evans, who has distinguished herself by exceptional service to the Mason County Sheriff's Office throughout the year 2012. Angel Evans joined the Mason County Sheriff's Office in May of 2010. As civil clerk, she processes a variety of court documents such as small claims, summons, and subpoenas, and enforces orders of the court such as domestic violence, child custody, evictions, and executions of real and personal property. Angel never draws back when faced with new challenges regarding the civil process. She does whatever research necessary to become more proficient in her knowledge of best practices in state law. Angel is constantly searching for inefficiencies or locating old paperwork that brings to light a potential for liability if continued. As an example, Angel found some old unfinished deeds with incorrect information and needed to be revised before legal rightful deeds could be issued. Angel also took the initiative to contact a collection agency to bring resolution to unpaid bills for service to help bring income into the MCSO budget. Angel is compassionate and caring and is highly respected by her peers and superiors. She has a strong work ethic and radiates integrity in her pursuit of excellence in all areas of her job. Civil Clerk Angel Evans' distinguished and exceptional performance of duty is in keeping with the highest standards of conduct and has reflected great credit upon herself in the Mason County Sheriff's Office. Therefore, it is with great pleasure to recognize Civil Clerk Angel Evans as the Mason County Sheriff's Office Administration Support Person of the Year for 2012. And also, there's a certificate here that says this is to certify that the Mason County Sheriff's Office has selected Angel Evans as Support Person of the Year for 2012 for her dedication and reliability in support of the Mason County Sheriff's Office mission, vision, and core values: professionalism, integrity, accountability, respect, and partnership. So then with that, we have a desk plaque. How do you do this? There we go.
And do the handshake.
Oh, we have to do the whole handshake. And it says Administration Support Person of the Year. Thank you for your service, Sheriff Casey Salisbury. So do we have to stand here?
Right there. Thank you. And we'll put on. We did have a volunteer award, but much like one of our 45 volunteers, a particular volunteer did not want their name mentioned. So we will mention their name. But we did have a volunteer of the year that just said, I do this because I want to do it, not because I want recognition. So they chose not to be here. My next award is a somewhat unique award because it's technically not a volunteer position, but just a person that comes down and gets things done in our office for us on a regular basis. He's responsible for helping us get into the offices at the north end of the county and work with citizens up there on negotiating a contract for us to have space at the north end of the county. He's worked on a jail project with us. He attends almost every one of our public meetings, and if there's a need anywhere in the community that he has an area of expertise like you wouldn't believe, he steps in and helps us with that. And you can't put a dollar figure on having almost another administrative person in your office when they're there for free. With that, in appreciation and with many contributions to the Mason County Sheriff's Office, we give this award of Citizen of the Year to Mr. Pat Hutland. I have another another award here that we made kind of a rearrangement for this month so he could be here. And unfortunately on Easter his father died, so he is not here today. And he's stepping away for a while from the position of chaplain in our office. Chaplain Morty Jenkins puts in tremendous amounts of hours when we have citizens in need or a person in our office in need. It comes out all hours of the night. Whenever we need him, Morty would be at that traffic accident or a person whose family's in need. This last year, Morty has this Skokomish Valley Community Church, and he's had a lot of things in his personal life that have been very, very difficult for him, and then resulting this last weekend the loss of another family member. We especially want to recognize Chaplain Morty Jenkins, and this is being presented to in recognition and dedicated service presented to Chaplain Morty Jenkins in appreciation for assisting the Mason County Sheriff's Office and serving the citizens of Mason County as a chaplain. Your service has made a difference in the lives of many. 2013, Chaplain Morty Jenkins. The next award I have here is another one of those people that gives their time, and I don't say this too humorously. He's George has married us and he's buried us, and everything in between for the families. George not only serves the Mason County Sheriff's Office, but I stole him from Thurston County when I came over here. I first met George one early morning on a horrific incident where a person died, and George came into a restaurant, introduced himself to myself and another deputy, and as the chaplain that just handled this horrific incident. When I left Mason County, we didn't technically at that time have a coroner, we had deputy prosecutors, and so the first time I worked here, I got the great experience of delivering death notices. That is not a pleasant thing. When I went to Thurston County, because I'd done it before, they said, "Hey, you're on," and it wasn't pleasant there either. And I ran into Chaplain Albertson, and the first incident we had to go out and notify a family that their loved one wasn't coming home. And from that point on, I always called George. And so in the middle of the night, traffic accidents, suicides, our people having family issues, anything along that line, George comes out and he does this on his own time. He's been known to drive to Seattle and pick up people coming in on flights and bringing them back down here when they've lost a loved one in our community, and comes out on the scenes for us when we're struggling with things as well. Our chaplain score is absolutely outstanding, and George serves not only us but all the fire districts in the county if they're in need, and also in Thurston County, and also has worked for the Washington State Patrol. So with that, in recognition, George, for your dedicated service, and just a lifetime of help for me personally and all the people associated with the Sheriff's Office. Thank you so much. This next award is another one that sometimes you look for a friendly face in the crowd, and if it's you and you're the one that's in trouble, you look up and you see a guy like Joe Hoffman. And the reason for this award is not, I asked, actually, Joe, if you come up and also introduce your guests that are with you. This is Dr. Joe Hoffman from Mason General. Also introduce your guests and have them come up, and then I'll talk about it.
Dean Gushie, one of my colleagues and partners, Chief Medical Officer for First Department. I think Branscombe, Chief Operating Officer.
Please come up. Here's what I know about Mason General. There have been several occasions, and I kind of thought of Joe Hoffman personally, that we have had one of our own in there. And on several times, Dr. Hoffman has stepped in and taken over that patient for us. As recently as one of our guys fell off a big cliff and got all torn up, Dr. Hoffman came in and took care of him. Also recently, one of our volunteers, a guy that gave an awful lot of money to the Sheriff's Office in helping us get our canine program started, was very, very sick and passed away in the hospital. And his last request was that we bring the dogs into Mason General. His dogs, he called them, which they were because of the donated money he gave. And the hospital was kind enough to let us bring the dog into the intensive care unit, which was kind of a little out there, I think, for us, bringing dogs in. But the doctors were all good with us, and the nursing staff. and a number of times they've helped us. And I told Dr. Hoffman once I was in there for a patient from the community that we had brought in, and I was so impressed because things weren't going well. And Dr. Hoffman said, "No one dies in my emergency room," and went to work, took care of it. So also I realized, Dr. Geshin, you might recognize this mark right here. I ran a drill through my hand. So, yeah, hey, I know that guy.
Still working?
Yeah, it looks great. You don't often think about those folks out there behind the scenes that help us out. We also bring them in, people into the emergency room sometimes that are less than savory, people that aren't behaving very well, and they get stuck with that as well. And every time we go in there, we are received so well at Mason General, and they have been a great friend to the Sheriff's Office and all the police agencies around the area. So this is an award of appreciation and recognition to all of Mason General Hospital, and in appreciation for serving the Mason County Sheriff's Office and your continued dedication of support in caring for our staff. Dr. Hoffman and staff, thank you very much.
What's this,